Hi there, I am Joy Hoisington, Certified Functional Nutrition Counselor, and I'm so glad that you're able to join me for today. It's been brought to my attention that hormone imbalance is something that people want to know more about. So today we're going to discuss the most common hormone imbalance in women, and that is estrogen dominance. Estrogen dominance is simply a higher ratio of estrogen to progesterone, and this can happen either from having too much circulating estrogen in the body or from low progesterone. Now, some of the reasons that estrogen dominance occurs are that we have an abundance of estrogen-like compounds and actual estrogens in our food and environment, including in our personal care products and our cleaning products. Some other things that might put us at risk for estrogen dominance is approaching perimenopause or having gone through menopause. Perimenopause means like around menopause, but you're not quite there yet. And it commonly happens in the mid to late 40s on average. Some other things that could cause this are excess weight, increased stress, adrenal fatigue, constipation, compromised liver, or issues detoxifying out those excess hormones, poor diet, and too much caffeine or alcohol. Now, if someone were to experience estrogen dominance, the symptoms they might see could be very numerous, but they include things like PMS, unless of course they are already menopausal, fatigue, breast swelling and tenderness, irregular periods, water retention or bloating, fibroids, reduced sex drive, migraines, impaired glucose metabolism, which can actually further throw off other hormones when not balanced, weight gain around the middle section, mood swings, anxiety and depression, and osteoporosis. Okay, I know this is a very extensive list, but it's important to cover all the bases. A few more are infertility, hot flashes or night sweats, hair loss, vaginal dryness, brain fog, and sometimes even trouble getting to sleep at night, which can further exacerbate estrogen dominance. So I'm going to give you some tips on how to remedy this, and if you've already tried all the things that I'm going to tell you, please reach out because you may benefit from more specialized supplementation. So right now I'm going to talk to you about 5 practical ways to heal from estrogen dominance that can be implemented right away. Number 1 is to prioritize sleep. Sleep has been shown in many studies to improve hormone production. Don't forget that for all of you who have already gone through menopause, you still produce small amounts of progesterone through your adrenals, so this still includes you. Sleep gives your adrenals, your pituitary, and your sex organs the chance to regenerate and revive so that it can better function throughout the day. In addition, cortisol, which is the hormone that wakes you up in the morning, or should wake you up in the morning, very strongly affects all your other hormones in the body. And cortisol depends on normal sleep to be rising and falling at the right times. If you are not sleeping, your cortisol will start to be all over the place. So here are some practical sub-tips to help you to fall asleep. Number 1, avoid stimulating foods and drinks 4 to 6 hours before bedtime. And some of you may need to eliminate some of these foods entirely, such as caffeine if you are that sensitive. But these are things like sugar, alcohol, yes, it's a stimulant and not just a downer, caffeine, and processed carbs. Number 2 is to turn off all lights in the room, even little ones, because this still inhibits melatonin production, which is the sleep hormone. And melatonin also actually helps to protect against too much estrogen, so that's very important. In addition to the lights being off, move all your electronic devices to be at least 6 feet away from your bed. And number 3, discontinue screens at least 2 hours before bed. So put down the smartphone, shut off the TV, and read instead. Number 4, aim to be in bed by 10 p.m. Again, the natural circadian rhythm is what gives your body the best chance of falling asleep. So when you miss this window, you have a harder time getting to sleep due to missing the cortisol drop and the time for melatonin production to kick in. Number 5, try taking tart Montessori cherry syrup 2 hours before bedtime as a natural whole food melatonin supplement. This can be ordered online. And lastly, drink your liquids earlier in the day and at least 2 hours before bedtime to ensure that nature does not wake you up at 2 a.m. So that covers sleep. So I know that was a lot on sleep, but it's very important. So back to our 5 practical ways to heal from estrogen dominance. Number 2 is to add in high quality soy that is organic and fermented. For example, tamari, miso, and tempeh. Contrary to past research, it has been proven that plant-based phytoestrogens actually lessen how much of the bad estrogen is able to bind to estrogen receptors, which forces excess estrogen out. Number 3, increase fiber in the diet. One way to do this is to eat more plant foods like nuts, broccoli, cabbage, asparagus, and avocados, which are all great fiber sources. Number 4 is to add in fresh flax meal. I grind my seeds actually in a blender fresh for every bag of flax seeds that I purchase. And then I store the flax meal in that same bag, sealed and in the refrigerator to keep it fresh. And then I add 1 tablespoon into my smoothie every morning. The flax, again, is high in plant phytoestrogen, so it does the same thing as the organic soy, but it's also a great source of fiber as well, which helps to bind to that excess estrogen and pull it out of the body. And last but not least, remove dairy or lower it substantially and unhealthy fats and increase omega-3 fats in the diet. Dairy and beef are the 2 foods that are highest in the bad estrogen that I was talking about, but especially dairy, because when cows are lactating, their estrogen counts substantially rise. But in addition to this, they are commonly fed hormones to increase their milk production even more. So in order to avoid the bovine growth hormone, you can look for certified organic, but it does not eliminate the natural estrogens found in cow's milk. Some ways to increase omega-3s are the obvious, which is to eat more fish, wild caught fish specifically, but salmon is my top recommendation just because only 4 ounces gives you your whole full daily needs of EPA and DHA, which are those omega-3s that you really need to get from fish. Eating grilled salmon with meals over a salad or alongside some veggies is a wonderful way to get more salmon. Or having some brown rice crackers and salmon salad. I like to make mine with hummus and celery and then wild caught canned salmon. And it tastes a lot very similar to tuna and crackers, but it doesn't have the mercury exposure that tuna brings. If you suspect that you have estrogen dominant, either due to low progesterone or just too much estrogen, some functional testing to consider is to do a salivary hormone and cortisol panel, a full thyroid panel, or an IgG food sensitivity testing, or you could do all of those. Thyroid is another thing. If it's low or high, or you have an issue with that can really impact hormone levels. But the salivary hormone panel and cortisol panel will tell you all your different hormone levels that you have. It's very extensive. So that's something that a naturopath or a functional medicine doctor can order, or I can order if you'd like. So contact me if you'd like to look into that more. So there you have it. I hope that you enjoyed watching, and if this video helped to clarify some things for you and helped to point you in the right direction, please like this video and comment below on what resonated with you. I look forward to seeing you next week, where I'm going to be discussing PMS. Thanks so much for joining me, and have a great week.